Hey, what's up guys, Team Nova here. As you know, we played the first regional of the new season. This time we bring you the second place deck profile of Nico. Nico came back after a 2-year break, and his only loss was the previous deck profile from Jawad that you saw. So yeah, he ended X1. So let's get right into the deck profile.
Okay, so for the monsters we are playing, of course, the double masterpiece. 2 is enough. You never need a third one, and the third one just makes you brick, so just 2.
Okay.
Then the 1 Ignis, because it's at 1.
Sadly enough.
Yeah, really sad. Rest in peace, Knuckles.
Yes.
Then the 2 Maiden, not 3. You never need a third.
True.
Again, 2 is enough.
Because we play also...
Yeah, we also play the Cavalry.
Yes, the Cavalry.
Zodiac Broadwell, but for true Dracos, and when he leaves the field, you get a disposal, so
Okay.
just pays for itself.
Okay.
That's it for the monsters, just 7 monsters.
Yes.
I did not main deck Mexi, but I guess I should have, but I didn't.
X1's pretty good.
Still pretty good, yeah. Then for the spells, we play, of course,
Triple Diagram.
Triple Diagram, Triple Heritage,
Yes.
Triple Disciples. Have to play all of these. Then Triple Terraforming, of course. Triple Duality. 2 Desires. 3 Demise.
Yes, best card.
Yeah, I sacked so many people with Demise.
As you should.
Then the 1 Stormforth and the 1 Raigeki.
Yep.
Counting up to 22 spells. That's it for the
Yes.
spells. And then for traps, play of course the 1 Return, 3 Apocalypse,
Yep.
the 1 Skill Drain,
Yes.
and 3 Summon Limit.
How did that work out?
The idea behind Summon Limit was the first counter against Spiral.
Okay, maybe first say what it really does, because I do think not many people know what it does.
It's kind of an old card. It says that neither player can summon more than 2 times per turn.
Okay.
Really solid.
True.
This means that just like Heritage, it's like a counter that goes up. So your opponent can summon 1 monster, then another, and when you activate Summon Limit, the counter will be at 2, so they cannot summon for the rest of the turn, unless they get rid of the Summon Limit.
So rip Spiral.
That was the idea behind it, but they have a main deck out in the form of Super Agent.
Obviously.
So if they call it right, then they get to summon it, and then Summon Limit becomes useless unless they target another card, and then you can just chain the Summon Limit.
Yep.
Then they have to get rid of it in some other way.
Yes.
But we also have an out to Spiral in the form of when they call a card, you can make them call it wrong.
Yes.
And this comes in
Waterfall.
with Waterfall of Dragon Souls.
Yep.
In my opinion, this was a really good card in the last format.
Yep.
I always played it at 3, and it became even better with the last list. First of all, as I already mentioned, it's very good against Spiral because they use Drone's effect to stack your deck.
Yes.
Then they will use either Double Helix or Super Agent.
Yep.
And hopefully call it right, but then you can just chain the Waterfall.
Yes.
And instead of searching a monster, you can send one of your True Draco or True Kings to the graveyard.
Yep.
And just draw. Draw 2 most of the time, or the amount of True Dracos that you send plus 1 extra. So you can draw up to 4 sometimes. But really dangerous to get ashed at that time, so never do that. Just go for 2, and then if the first and third card are the same, then GG, I guess.
Yeah.
But if they're different, then the card they called is the wrong card.
Yes.
So Super Agent will not resolve, nor will Double Helix.
Yep.
So it's an instant out to that.
True.
Also, this helps you survive from evenly matched.
Yeah.
If they evenly match you, most of the times you will get a search from the True Draco that's already on your field.
Yes.
Then you can chain the waterfall, send it to the graveyard, draw some extra cards. The waterfall gets banished, but you don't care about that, and then you can keep the only one important card that's left on your field, which will most of the time be the summon limit, or that's a side deck card, Monarch's Erupt or Skill Drain or whatever. You can keep the really important cards on the field, the other one get banished.
And you don't really minus.
Yeah, this helps you recover from that.
Yep. Because I was sitting next to you when you got evenly matched, and it actually did nothing. And
yeah, I just resolved 2 waterfalls.
2 waterfalls, yeah.
I even plus from that.
Yeah, indeed. So what a lot of people think is that this deck really dies from evenly matched, just like the Pendulum deck. But
and
here
it does.
you can,
but you can recover from
yes,
waterfall.
Here you can actually do something against it. So that's nice.
But if you don't have the waterfall, then yeah.
Yeah, then it's really hard, I know.
And it's really bad. We did not play an extra deck, and that is because we run in the side deck the 3 Monarch's Erupt.
Skill drains.
Yeah, it's just an extra skill drain, but it requires you to have a tribute summon monster on the field, and you cannot play an extra deck. Also, not a lot of people know this, so it requires a tribute summon monster on the field in order to activate it. But if that tribute summon monster leaves the field, the Monarch's Erupt only sends itself to the graveyard during your own end phase, and only if you do not control a tribute summon monster at that time. So for the opponent, it's not enough to just get rid of your monsters. The Monarch's Erupt will just stay on the field, and then you get 1 extra turn to get another tribute summon monster on the field. If you don't, then the Monarch's Erupt just vanishes. But otherwise, it will stay on the field, and you can keep your skill drain alive.
Yes.
So the idea behind this was just to use 4 skill drains.
Yeah.
This and Summon Limit are the only real reasons, well, and Waterfall, why this deck still lives.
Against Spiral. Yeah.
And against other things.
Okay.
This just kills Invoked right away.
True.
But that's the main reason why this deck is still alive.
Okay.
Just a masterpiece, then we would be unable to run pure True Draco. Then for the other cards in the side deck, of course, the Maxi, which is actually the only hand trap I sided.
Okay.
Yeah, every other hand trap just conflicts with the demise, so
Yeah, I agree.
you better don't run them. And then I borrowed 3 the Winged Dragon of Raw Sphere mode.
Yes.
The idea was to side it in when I was going second against Spiral, so I could just tribute 3 of their monsters, give them a useless one, then make my board, and they would be sitting behind a Raw, which would switch to my side the next turn, and then I would go off.
Yeah.
But I had to give them back after the tournament. So.
And I forgot to bring them today, so...
But yeah, they were in there just in case.
Yes.
Then the One Dark Hole. We main deck the Raigeki and the Monarch Stormforth. But as you have noticed, this is a going first build. You want to go first, but I opted to use Raigeki and Stormforth because they are the most volatile against most decks. And then the Dark Hole is in the side. Then the one Solemn Warning, because it's Solemn Warning, it's just too good. Then 2 Dimensional Barriers.
Yes.
Yeah, against Pendulums.
Invoked. Maybe.
And Invoked, yeah. But I didn't. I already had enough hate.
Yeah,
I had enough hate for Invoked with the Erupt Sense, etc.
Okay.
So I didn't side these in against Invoked. Then Imperial Order. I prefer Skill Drain over Order.
Yes.
Which is why it's in the side, but it's a really good. It's just too strong.
Obviously.
And then the 3 Unending Nightmares. These are the last side card.
Okay.
Also against Pendulums. And against True Draco as well.
Yep.
Actually, the only True and together with Imperial Order, the only 4 cards that I could side against True Draco, just to pop their fields, etc.
Did you play any mirrors?
Yeah, I played one. Well, not a pure mirror. He played True Draco Invoked.
Okay.
So yeah, this was the perfect side against him.
True that.
I could not rely on the Monarch Syrup because he was also running through Draco. So I just relied on this, and it worked out really well. He also evenly matched me, and I still whooped his ass.
That's really nice. So yeah, congratulations with your top, or second place actually.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Anything you want to say before we say goodbye?
No, I'm just really glad that I didn't give up on this deck. I really like to play it, and I hope it stays like this.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, and congratulations.